Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. This is Eddie J on crypto. Let's get right into it. So you have the makings of a historic rate hike that can happen. And why is that? You have higher than expected PPI, higher than expected CPI, higher than expected initial unemployment claims. And then on top of that, you have JPMorgan saying they missed on the top and bottom lines. You have Morgan Stanley saying they missed on the top and bottom lines. So a hotter than expected economy. Yes, these are backward looking numbers. So, okay. But that can still lead to a rate hike of 100 basis points where everybody were probably expecting 75. But now that'll be milked into the market, leaked into the market, and everybody will adjust their algebraic equations and get there. But that's still big deal. 100 basis points. Wow. When I look at Celsius paid down more debt, a hell of a lot more debt just before filing for bankruptcy. And it seems like they stopped short of, people and companies that were on the lower end scale, which means that they still have about over 100,000 creditors, mostly depositors, that would probably have to wait years before they get their money. Years. That's a problem. That's a major problem. But Celsius joins Voyager and 3 Arrows Capital with bankruptcy. So kind of not surprising in that case, right? Nobody should be surprised. But I want you to think about this. That was centralized finance. Okay, not DeFi, CeFi. So it was centralized finance in a new space. That's all it was. Couple that, when you look at that kind of situation, I'm also looking at how centralized financial firms are saying, ha ha ha, told you so, looking at the crypto space and, the faltering that's going on there. And I just sit back and I just kind of go, did you forget that the dollar has been devalued for decades now? It doesn't have the same value, not nearly as close as what it used to, let's say back in the 70s when it was delinked from gold. Did they forget about, Lehman Brothers? I mean, I think that centralized finance is starting to think that is realizing that there's huge disruption that's going to happen when DeFi keeps coming along, and they've all got to figure out how that's going to affect them and what kind of business models they need to have. The CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, are coming. And I don't think that's really a question. I believe they're coming. But I want you to stop and think about that. They're coming only as a response to crypto. So just how is that supposed to work? So I don't know. I mean, even if they come out with the CBDC, does that really get rid of crypto? I don't think so. I don't think it gets rid of crypto. I don't think it gets rid of the underlying crypto technologies. I don't think it gets rid of the various utilities that crypto brings to the table. So I still think that crypto still has a space. That's very forward looking. That's, long term down the road. Being served by NFT when somebody sues you, that's a real thing in the UK now. Now remember, they're handling regulatory compliance notifications via blockchain. They're tracking it via blockchain. And they implemented that last year. These are huge steps, kind of giving a nod to the technologies that are out there. So I sit back and I just kind of go, yeah, we can see that coming. Couple that with simple news like Polygon being selected as one of the companies for, to work with Disney. That's huge. Again, crypto is not going anywhere but up. So yeah, we're going to bounce around the bottom. We might hit a new bottom or something like that. But crypto's going to go back up. It really is. And it'll go back up in major fashion. And if most traditional finance didn't believe in it, then why are there so many traditional financial companies looking to tokenize, various assets to put them into liquidity pools? DeFi liquidity pools. Just saying. There's a certain realization that comes with it all. Anyway, Celsius with bankruptcy, JPMorgan saying, mining costs are low. being served NFTs, being served via NFT in the UK. Just all of these things just make me think about what are the long-term effects. Recession is definitely coming, but it's not going to be the same recession that we've traditionally had. So when you think pre-pandemic and what the economy was pre-pandemic, then during pandemic, now after pandemic, we live in a different world now than we did pre-pandemic. I don't know that you can actually compare the two, like for like. Actually, I wouldn't. It's not like for like anymore. So when I look at that, I kind of go, well, yeah, all those companies that took off during the pandemic, people had to stay home, the Pelotons, the Zooms. Well, Zoom's taking a hit, right? Peloton's taking a hit. Microsoft hasn't. I'm just saying, there's certain things that have taken big hits and there are other things that have not. So as I look toward the future and what things can happen and what things can be leveraged and all these different items that are going on, I sit back and I go, yeah, I'm going to reevaluate the coins that I think it was 11 coins initially, and then I wound up with like 13, 14 coins or projects that I'm interested in. I'm going to reevaluate those coins, not to swap them in or out, but to recreate my dollar cost averaging strategies for each. That's what I'll be doing. I think you should pay attention and do your own research so that you can grow your bag. Because there's a lot going on there, a lot of things that you could take advantage of. Let's take a look at the numbers before we get out of here. All right. So you can see that, on the downward side, over the past 24 hours, not really a lot, right? Right here, this is where it stops. Pocket Network, Nervous Network, Terra, don't know why you'd be looking at that. Wazir X, not something I'm really into. I mean, it's also ranked 227. It's not something I'm looking at really. The market cap is only $100 million. It's not moving me enough. I tend not to look at things. If I'm going to take a chance on something, I'd like it to have a market cap of greater than 500 million. That's, right there. That's kind of where I'm at. Anything beyond that, and there had better be such a unique utility and such a loud and boisterous and capable community around it that it's a compelling story. But beyond that, yeah, I'm probably not going to look at it. Celsius Network, that's actually pretty funny. It's down 14%. It's down way more than that, obviously. Down 92% from its all-time high, obviously. But these are things that you look at. In terms of what's up, Idea Chain, don't ask me who they are, have no idea. With a market cap of $243 million, I'm not going to be looking at it. I might look into Idea Chain, maybe. But I don't see why I would. Polygon on a rip. Why? Disney. I'm just so many things. Do your own research. But over the past few days, I've been telling you about what Polygon's been doing. Again, still acting as connective tissue between projects. That's a very big deal. So Polygon is on a serious tear and upward and has crazy upward momentum. Something people have also been sleeping on, Uniswap. Don't sleep on that so much. They're close to $3 billion in terms of market cap, and they've got a lot of things going on. A lot. Pay attention to that. Aave is doing well with 13%. Arweave, 12%. Arweave's got a good story. That's another one that I pay attention to. I told you one of my friends owns a business and they leverage Arweave. So these are things that I'm really paying attention to in terms of what's going on in the space. Utility, longevity because of the utility, all those things. You can have utility, but it could be a short run utility, right? It could be a very short run. So that's what I'm paying attention to, or one of the things I pay attention to. Then, like I said, here are the numbers that came out. So over the past 2 days, you had the consumer price index come out. You had the producer price index come out. We've got a federal governor coming on to talk about Chris Waller coming on at about 11 o'clock to talk about things. That's about 13 minutes away. You want to pay attention to these things. You really want to pay attention to these things. Why? Because when you put them all together, they paint a picture. And you just have to figure out what that picture says to you. Catch the rhythm of the coins, things like that. The fear and greed index was down at 15. Now it's back up to 18. Interesting. Very interesting. I think tomorrow might be down. Or even later on today, it might be down. If you were awake during the middle of the night, you saw a big spike by a lot of the cryptos. So you could have been in early, when it spiked, gotten out, and get back in right now, and you could be making a couple of bucks. But again, that's if you're kind of day trading versus long-term hold. And I told you I have two different wallets, or two different types of wallets in that regard. And I would also recommend I continue to maneuver money. I'm almost done maneuvering money off of centralized exchanges. Hint, hint. Bitcoin, you can see where it is right now, fighting to keep above my bottom inner line right here. That's kind of a big deal. I need to see Bitcoin hit and maintain above 22,000. If not, I think we have just a sideways bounce that keeps on happening until other macro events happen. And this screen is always late. Don't know why. Again, Matic up, Uniswap up. Ethereum is bouncing around. Bitcoin bouncing around. Same range, bouncing around. Right? So I pay attention to those things only because things are still on sale. And I want to know what I should be buying. I'm paying attention now to upward swings, like the percentages. And I'm comparing percentages between coins. So I can figure out what coin might be better than another coin, so I can, manage my DCA strategy more effectively. And here's where you can actually see everything in a list, which I also look at. Yes, I use a pictorial view, but then I also use the numeric view, so I can actually pay attention to specifics when I start diving deep, right? So when I look at Matic, look at the move that Matic's made over the past few days. Just look at this chart. And there you go. There you go. I mean, you're talking about at one point it was down all the way at 54 cents. And, this is in one day from 54 cents. It hit a high, what is that right here, of 65 cents. An 11-cent jump. I'm just saying, there are opportunities out there that you could and should be paying attention to. Polygon is one of them. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. Hope you have a good one. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and definitely hit the notification bell so you know when I'm dropping a new video. Have a great day.